Hello. Thank you for taking the time to look at the MMM Global program. I wanted to just take a few minutes right now and just kind of give you the guidelines of really what it's all about, how you can get involved. And one of the things that I love most about this program is it's super simple. You know, the average person can get involved. They can really do a couple of things. Number one, they can provide donations or help into the system anywhere in the world. And then when they need help, they can get help back. There's a third-party system that really monitors everything just to make sure that you do what you said you're going to do. A couple of things that we are not. We're not a bank, not a company, not an investment. There's really no single point where something could crash or fail. Really, there's donations just directly to recipients. So they just monitor what's going on, they meaning MM Global. And there's no promises, no guarantees. And of course, participants understand the risks going into something like this. And when they send money to donations to other members, they're doing it with the hopes that they're going to get money back. Just a little background of MMM, you know. The beginning was years ago, back in 1989, Sergey Muvrodi. He got in a system where, you know, he realized that no matter what he did, the banking system was controlled by the head people in Russia, the rich really, and he decided to give money back to the different, whether it be a community of hard workers or people that just are uneducated, but he decided to give back to the people. And so he did that, but unfortunately the head of Russia over there, they decided that they're not going to let him get away with taking over their entire banking system. So they really persecuted him. Well, he ended up in 2011 deciding to create a global community outside of Russia where he can actually share financial independence with everyone. And so where are we today? Well, we've expanded all over the world. We have like 200 million people in 118 countries and growing. It's crazy. We have 5 years of activity that they've been doing successfully, providing and getting help all over the world. Now, I'm going to talk about providing and getting help in a minute, but like $15 billion of assistance worldwide. I mean, that's a lot. And they're the #1 donation exchange program in the world. Now, I don't want to get too technical on this. I'll just tell you that there's a platform that is, if I could say, when you go to your bank and you get a debit card and you do a transaction during the day, when you do that transaction, it's a digital transaction if you don't have any cash. Well, they decided to create years ago a digital currency which allows you to be able to transfer money anywhere in the world almost instantaneously. So we're on the Bitcoin platform and talk to the person who shared this program with you to get more information about Bitcoin. But it's pretty cool because it's accepted by merchants all over the world. And at the end of the day, you can put the money back into your bank account and back into the dollar or your local currency. It's real easy to transfer money back and forth. So one of the things that excited me is that they have created a system that makes everyone kind of accountable, if you will, and you know, they make sure, number one, you just spare money. If you're going to put money to donate, you want to just donate money that's not going to hurt your family, right? In addition to that, they are allowing you to track that with a currency. When I say a currency, it's just a simple credit in their system called the Mavro, and I'm going to explain that to you in detail in a second. So what is a Mavro? Mavro is the internal currency of the MMM global system. But what does that really mean? That just means for every dollar that you donate, they're going to give you $1 of Mavro credit. If you spend $100 and you donate it somewhere in the world, they give you $100 in credit. And the cool part is that they track this for you. You don't have to be involved in that. So what do? We just do two things. We keep it super, super simple. We either provide help or we get help. We provide help for those that are looking for help and we fulfill those requests. And then we get help. And basically, the people that work with you in this, they'll help you set up an e-wallet or electronic wallet that will track the donations back and forth through the system. And it'll allow you to provide help to people that need it. And then as you earn in the system, they'll give you credit. And that credit increases from anywhere from 20% to as high as 100%. So as an example, if you just put $100 out into the system and you provided help, and they were going to give a 30% increase, that month you'd make $30. You'd make $130 total. And in the United States and in some other countries, they have what they call MMM Extra, which we'll go into that in a minute. They'll give you up to 100% increase per month. So what does that mean? You just simply will double whatever's in your Mavro account. So if you lend out $100, or you gave out $100, not lent it, but you actually gave it out, it's a donation, you could actually, at the end of the month, it'll increase to 200 Mavro. You could actually get help for up to 200. But let's just say hypothetically you didn't want to take out the money and you want to let it grow. Well, the second month, it's going to basically get a 100% increase. It would go from 100 to 200 the first month. Second month, it would go from 200 to 400, and so on. It'll just keep on growing. Now, this is the MMM Extra program for doing daily tasks such as, a Facebook post and a tweet, and really just getting involved in the growing of the social community. They're going to give you 100% a month, and it's basically done on a daily basis and increases over a month. Now, one of the interesting parts about this system, and I don't want to go into too much detail about this, but just know that one of the main reasons, or what they call the ideology, or what is the reason behind it, there was a mission. It was a mission to take the people that are working for the average person and they're giving their money to the banks and making the rich get richer, the poor getting poorer, and take them away from the slavery, the shackles that they have been put in. And when I think about this system really does truly level the playing field for everyone. It allows you to be able to not have to participate in that system, but if you want to, this is just extra money. This is something that you can do on top of what you're doing. Now, if you want to and be able to turn this into an income, you can. You don't have to, but you can. But what I do want to show you is, I want to jump over a couple of things here, is that when you get involved in the system, you have the opportunity to be able to be part of a referral-based system. So what does that mean? You can earn money. Simply by referring other people in the system, you can actually rank advance in the system. And so you also get bonuses when you deposit money into someone else's account as a donation. If you deposit $50 to $499, you'll get $20 bonus. $500 to $2,999, you get a $50 bonus, and then $3,000 or more, you get a $100 bonus. That's a one-time bonus that you get for a donation. The max amount of a donation you can put in ever is $10,000, and a minimum of $10. You also can get a cool referral bonus, which is 10%. So you get basically 10% referral just for referring somebody into the system. So that means if they put in 1,000, you'd make $100, right? Or if they put in 100, you make 10, as an example. But if you decide to go through their school and become a manager, or what they call a guider, you can build a referral bonus structure. And so as you can see, you will personally, anybody you personally refer to the system, you'll also get 5% of any of their donations. The next row under that, if you will, you get 3%. And then below that, you get 1%. And so you can actually earn additional money above and beyond what you give away for help. And that money also is in a system that's increasing depending on what your participation is in regards to how your Mavro is growing, as I mentioned earlier. Now just know that there is risks involved. You know, in anything you do in life, nobody has a crystal ball. They don't know how long something's going to be around, and we want you to know that there's a risk in this. There's a possibility that you may donate money and not receive any money back. That's why we tell you to only use your spare money. But we can tell you this has been operating for quite a while. It's got a proven system that seems to be stable, and it's very beneficial to all parties that are putting in donations in the system. Now there's some rules that you need to abide by. Number one is you can only have one account. Now a lot of people run out and they're like, oh man, I could run like 2-3 accounts on this. No, you can't. You can only run one account. And it tracks by wherever your computer or your phone is. And so you got to be careful not to sign up people on the same computer. You got to use separate computers and or phones. Number two, you can't advertise on one of those programs that you're paid to watch advertising. They call them ad rotators. You can't promote the opportunity as an investment because it's really just a donation network. We ask that before you share the program, you kind of give somebody the information so they can understand it to avoid a lot of the questions that you really don't want to have to answer, and or at least get them on the phone with somebody who's one of the managers that can answer their questions prior to you having to learn everything and go over everything. Although we do encourage you to do as much, education as you can on your own. when you decide to provide help to somebody and give a donation, you have 36 hours to complete that. Now, for whatever reason, there's a circumstance out of your control, you can't do it, you'll get one shot to fix it. If you can fix it, great. If you can't, then we'll block you from the system for not doing what you said you're going to do. And of course, in the event of a worldwide or countrywide financial crisis, like a panic like in the US, when the banking system crashed over here and the housing market crashed, people panicked, right? They pulled the money out of the banks, they had to bail out the bank systems, and worldwide, we were robbing from Peter to pay Paul, and things are collapsing all over the world. That's what they call a panic. And in a crisis, people get scared, they pull all their money out of everything. So they'll put a pause. Up to 2.5 months, you will not be able to touch the Mavro or to provide help or get help until the situation is resolved, and that's to protect everyone in the system. Now, I know that was a lot of information to share in a short period of time, but we encourage you to get back to the person that shared this program with you. Realize that, depending on what your goals are, what you want out of life, this can create a small income or a large income. If you're looking at just making an extra $100 a month or $10,000 or $100,000 a month, just depending on where you're at or what you want to do, get back with the person that shared this with you, put together a strategy, figure out what you want and why you want it. Is it because you're tired of working for somebody else? Do you want to just have a little extra money to pay your car payment? Would you like to have an extra money so you can actually do the things you want to do, have the time to enjoy doing those things? See, that's the biggest problem most people have. They have all the time because they're unemployed, but they have no money. Or they have all the money because they're working their butt off and they have no time. So even a doctor and a lawyer, right, they have lots of money, but they have very little time. So when you look at the system, this can create a passive income, which takes very, very little time every day to earn money, and it allows you to be able to leverage a system that's already proven, it's working around the world. And when I say leverage, I mean be able to participate in a system that your money is not just sitting dormant. You're actually giving it away and getting help and then getting more than what you put out back, almost like karma. And so you do unto others as you'd have done to you. Well, the bottom line is that we appreciate you taking the time. Again, I know that there's a lot of information. We encourage you to educate yourself. Learn about the MMM global story. There's a 2-hour movie that you could watch on this. There's a whole history behind this that is just fascinating. And the more you understand, the more you'll get excited, the more you'll realize that you want to be involved at a higher level. So with that, I appreciate you taking the time today. Take care, take charge, and we'll see you on the other side of prosperity. Have a great night. Take care.